Morning, students. Today we are going to start another lesson in your course called Gopal and the Hilsa. It is for Unit 3 for Class 7 English book. So let's start the prose. This prose is written in the comic form. Have you read the comic book? Yes, of course. I think you have read lots of comic books. So get ready for learn a new lesson in a comic form. So let's read it. Gopal and the Hilsa Fish. It was the season for Hilsa Fish. Fisherman could think of nothing but Hilsa Fish. Okay, so it is this season of Hilsa Fish. And fishermen's more excited for catching the fish. Fishmongers sold nothing but Hilsa Fish. So fishmongers only sells Hilsa Fish. Their main aim is to sell only Hilsa Fish in the market. And one fishmonger said, "Come, buy. The price of Hilsa is down today." It means that the price of Hilsa fish is going very low because of the excessive production, or you can say the excessive catching of the Hilsa fish by the fishermen. So come to the next slide. Then householders, what they say. Householders could talk of nothing but Hilsa fish. In the households, you can only hear about Hilsa fish. How much did you pay for that Hilsa? One woman talked to her husband. That how much did you pay for that Hilsa? Then his husband said. Then her husband said, "You wouldn't believe it if I told you." It means that the price of Hilsa is very low. And in the palace too, the courtiers could discuss nothing but Hilsa fish. You can say that not only in the households, it is also same thing happened in the courts. And the courtiers only talks about Hilsa fish. They say that this Hilsa fish price was very low. I caught a very big Hilsa fish in this as well. Your Majesty, you should have seen the huge Hilsa I caught. It was. So one courtier said to the king that one huge Hilsa fish I caught, and its size was very. Then the king was very bored, and he said, "Stop it. Are you a courtier or a fisherman?" And he becomes very angry and he said, "Are you a courtier or a fisherman? You only talks about Hilsa fish." The courtiers fell silent with downcast eyes. The king felt guilty. After hearing that sentence, the courtiers becomes very silent. At that time, the king feels very guilty. He said, "I am sorry. I lost my temper. It is the season for Hilsa fish, and no one, what? No one could stop to talk about Hilsa fish. Not even Gopal can stop anyone from talking about Hilsa fish. Not even for 5 minutes." And Gopal, who is Gopal? Gopal is a courtier of the court of the king. So he is also not stopping to talk about Hilsa fish. "Oh, I think I could, your majesty." After that, Gopal said, "But I can stop to talk about Hilsa fish. Then let me see you buy a huge Hilsa fish and bring it to the palace without anyone asking you a word about it." So he throw a challenge to Gopal that you will buy a Hilsa fish to the palace and no one will ask any questions about the Hilsa fish that you brought from the market. "I accept the challenge, your majesty." After that, Gopal accepted the challenge. A few days later, Gopal was with his wife. He looks like very odd. His wife said, "Why is your face half set?" Then Gopal said, I am dressing up to buy a feast. What's the matter with you? Why are you smearing yourself with ash? Then his wife said, where are you looks like a very mad man? Why are you smearing the ash on your face? I told you I am dressing up to buy a Hilsa Fish. But Gopal said that I have already told you that I will go for buying a Hilsa Fish. Listen to me, please. You can't possibly go out in those disgraceful rags. What are you up to? After that, his wife said that, don't go like this. How many times must I tell you, woman, I am out to buy a huge Hilsa. After that, Gopal said, how many times I told you? I am just only for buying Hilsa. In the next slide, you have to see that it's happened to him. He's gone mad. His wife think that Gopal becomes mad. Gopal brought the Hilsa fish and started walking towards the village. After buying the Hilsa fish, Gopal go to the palace. And in the market, all the people are becomes very surprised to see Gopal in that kind of ridiculous state. Mother, look at that man. Isn't he comical? One little girl said that. Mama or mother, look at that man. He looks a madman. And the elders were also talking about Gopal. He must be a madman. One elder, one adult man, you can say an adult man, say, he must be a madman. Huh, I think he is a mystic. And another one is said, I think he is a very mysterious person. Okay. After that, Gopal arriving on the palace. When Gopal reached the court, the soldiers who were on the front of the palace said, what do you want? Then Gopal said, I want to see the king. Then the soldiers said, you can't see the king. Get away with you. So he said, you can't see the king because you looks like a very odd one or you looks like a madman. So you can't meet the king. After that, Gopal began to dance and sing very loud. His voice was reaching to the ears of the king. And inside the palace, what happened? We are going to listen. The man is crazy. The king thought that man was very crazy. Throw him out at once. I want to see the king. Let me in. He said, throw him out of the palace. But Gopal was very strongly or loudly said, I want to meet the king. Okay. Then the king said, bring that man to me at once. Yes, your majesty. The soldier said, okay, your majesty, we will bring that man in front of you. Gopal was brought before the king. Gopal was brought before the king. And he was in front of the king. It's Gopal. And the king and the other people recognized him that person was Gopal. And the courtiers thinks that the man has lost his mind. The courtiers thinks that he has lost his mind. And another courtier said, I think it's one of his crazy jokes. Because Gopal was popular for his jokes. So he thought that it is one of his crazy jokes. After that, the king said, alright Gopal, out with it. Why are you dressed up in this ridiculous fashion? Then the king said, Gopal, why are you putting that kind of ridiculous dress? Then Gopal said, your majesty, you seem to have forgotten something. Then Gopal said, your majesty, you forgot something. Forgotten something? The king becomes very surprised. Strangely enough, no one seems to be interested in Hilsa Fish today. Then Gopal said that today, no one interested to talk about Hilsa Fish. From the market to the palace and in the court, not a soul has spoken a word about Hilsa Fish. From the market where I brought the Hilsa Fish and towards the palace, no one asks any questions about the Hilsa Fish. They only talks about me and my dress. Only then did the king remember the silence he had thrown to Gopal. After that, the king remembered the silence that he gave to the or he thrown to the courtier, one of his best courtiers, that is Gopal. Ha ha! Well, Gopal, congratulations. You have achieved the impossible once again. And Gopal have did lots of such kinds of things before this incident. So the king said, Gopal, once again you have done an impossible thing. So congratulations. So this is the story of our unit 3 proves Gopal and the Hilsa Fish. So come to this slide. We were going to know what is the summary of this prose. The season of Hilsa Fish was going on everywhere as we have season of mangoes in summer. People were talking about Hilsa Fish and nothing else. Even the food was not an exception. The king was tired of this. He made an announcement to buy a Hilsa Fish and to bring it to the palace without anyone asking a word about it. Gopal, one of the courtiers, accepted the same. He makes preparations, half shaves himself, smears with ash and wet torn clothes, then set out to the palace with a big Hilsa Fish. Throughout the way, everybody talks and laughs on his face and strange appearances, but nobody says about Hilsa Fish. Finally, Gopal reached the palace where the guards stop him to enter. Gopal starts singing so loudly that king allows the stranger to come in. Inside the palace, even no one asks about Hilsa Fish except a prince. Even the king asks about Gopal's dressing and not Hilsa Fish. In the end, Gopal reminds the king about the challenge. The king congratulates Gopal for achieving the impossible. So what are the difficult words we have found in the prose? First one is temper. Temper means state of mind. Second one is crazy. Crazy means foolish. Third one is ridiculous. Ridiculous means causing mocking. And next one is achieve. Achieve means succeed in doing by effort. And last one is think of. Think of means take into account. So in this slide, let me test you. There are a few questions I have given in the next slide. You have to write these questions and answers and say to your English. Why did Gopal dress in a strange fashion? Why did the guard at the king's palace tell Gopal to go away? Why did the king tell the court's guard to bring the man at once? Why did the courtiers feel that Gopal had lost his mind? And last one, what impossible did Gopal ask? So these are the questions I want to give you. And you have to write these questions and check it with your teacher. Thank you. Have a good day.